Dragon seat countdown. FTS is armed. Falcon is a startup and is now controlling. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
And resilience rises. Not even gravity contains humanity when we explore as one for all. Plus 11 minutes since liftoff today. Waiting on that second stage separation, but as you can see, our astronauts from left to right, Shannon Walker, Victor Glover, Mike Hopkins, and Soichi Noguchi, now on their way to the International Space Station.
You may or may not know this, but I am a super space nerd. I mean, I even went to space camp and everything as an adult. Hence, the spacesuit. Before our very first mission assignment, we experienced the multi-axis trainer, and that simulates us coming back into Earth's atmosphere and just spinning out of control. So it was extremely fun, but if that really happened in life, I don't think that would be as fun. But that shouldn't be too far of a reach because for my day job I cover adventure, culture, and the environment, and so space fits into that, right? So anyway, today I want to talk to you about one of NASA's newest missions, and I'm not talking about going to Mars, but I'm talking about commercial flights to the ISS. And I have something really cool for you. It is an interview with a real live astronaut. And she will tell us all about this new program. But before we get into that, let's talk a little more about commercial travel to outer space.
In May 2020, NASA and its commercial partners, SpaceX, you know, the people who build Tesla cars. Okay, it's Elon and them. They launched 2 astronauts to the International Space Station.
2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA, go SpaceX, Godspeed, Spot and Doug.
The astronauts were aboard a commercial rocket for the first time in a flight test known as Demo 2, and it was successful. So the Demo 2 test set the stage for what they're calling a new era of exploration.
And we've got shutdown of the second stage engine on time.
Hi, Nicole, man. Thank you for your time. First, explain to me your role on this mission.
Absolutely. So I am a member of the Astronaut Corps, and we are all supporting this amazing launch tomorrow of Crew Dragon. We have 4 astronauts on board, one of which is one of my astronaut classmates, Victor Glover, as the pilot. And so it's so exciting to see them launch.
How is the launch of Crew-1 changing human spaceflight?
Oh my goodness, it is changing it incredibly. So the biggest thing, it's number one, it's ending our reliance on the Russian Space Agency for transportation to the International Space Station. So that is huge. It's opening up low Earth orbit to more opportunities for commercial industry, for more people, for some more science. And so this is the beginning of a new great era that is upon us in space exploration.
When we talk about like the logistics of like how you crew some of these missions, the 4-person crew will be up there for 6 months. Is that standard? Is that the length? Or is that shorter or longer?
So 6 months is the standard length for a normal operational mission. Now, we certainly have had people stay a little bit shorter or longer based on the vehicles that are coming up and the work that needs to be done. And so we've had folks on board for almost a year in the past. But this mission for Crew-1 is scheduled for a 6-month stay on board the International Space Station.
What are more of the plans for commercial crew programming in the future?
The commercial crew program is very exciting. And so there's 2 industries, there's SpaceX and there's Boeing. And they're building these spacecraft that are taking astronauts to the International Space Station. And we already launched Demo 2, which was the first crew test flight of Dragon, and Chunky and Bob returned successfully. And so now we're seeing the first operational flight. Next up, you're going to see Starliner. They're going to fly an uncrewed flight early next year, and then you'll see Crew launch for the first test flight of that. And I'll have the opportunity to be the pilot aboard that spacecraft. So as you see low Earth orbit being transitioned over to the commercial industry, this allows NASA to shift our focus towards the moon in the Artemis program and eventually to Mars. So it's very exciting times at NASA.
What excites you most about this? Because I know just in general, being an astronaut, everything is different. I know a little more about that. I went to space camp. So you don't just have the one job, but you know, one of the climaxes is actually getting to go on a mission. But this program in particular, what excites you?
What really excites me is that this is Launch America. I mean, this is something that we have been working towards for years and years. And to see the culmination of all that hard work come together from people at NASA, from people in the commercial industry, from the astronauts to the engineers, to just the folks online that have been following and waiting for us to launch from American soil again. It's all coming together. What we have planned and said we were going to do for so many years, we're finally doing it. We're executing. And so this is just an incredible time. Very exciting, not just for NASA, but I think for all of America and really all of the world.
I know our viewers really are going to want to know this. One last question for you is that you talked about kind of like the hierarchy of priority of what's going to happen next with commercial flights. When can people, regular people, start joining that?
I think it's a great question. I don't know the timeline. I wish I knew that, but I think the opportunities are starting to open up. And you'll see there are already some talks about private astronauts or people just going to space with other companies that are not government, and how they're going to contract through these commercial companies. I don't know, but I think the future, you're going to see journalists, you're going to see artists, you're going to see scientists, you're going to see this world open up to folks that'll give us the appreciation of low Earth orbit for not only science, but also an opportunity to look back on our home planet, understand more about that, what we needed to take care of it, and it's really going to unite us as humankind.
Private astronauts. I like the sound of that. So anyways, I do know that this interview is a different kind of video than I present normally on this channel. So please do let me know your thoughts on that. I do appreciate your feedback. Because of my job, I do get access to some pretty cool people and interviews and places that don't always make the cut to the news programs. So let me know if you like me to continue to push them on here. I really love to do that, but if you don't enjoy it, then what's the point? And until next time, cheers to the journey.